Welcome to this Facebook Live where we are going to be talking about DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. We have an attorney in the house, Moni Ruiz Velasco. She is an expert in immigration and also the executive director of PASO. So let's get right to it. I want this to be short, brief, and to the point. We've gotten a lot of questions, a lot of people who are scared, and we wanted to provide this in English because I know that a lot of our millennials don't quite get the Spanish all the way. So we want to make sure that you have all the information. So first of all, I mean, what has changed, if anything, since Donald Trump was elected president? Has anything changed?
Well, I think nothing in the processing of the applications or in DACA, nothing has actually changed.
If you're coming up on the date to renew your DACA, should you do it? What about those who wonder if they should apply for DACA if they haven't already done so? So this wouldn't be renewing, this would be first time going in.
They can consider either way, and we would support it either way. But I think, you know, thinking about the idea that the application may not be processed before the new president comes in, and so there's a good chance that if someone applies tomorrow or today, that their application will never be processed, and then they'll lose the money. I know there's also fear of people like turning in their address, right?
So talk about that, because I think a lot of people are concerned. They obviously turned over all their information. They're like, where is this information going to go to? Is it going to go to ICE? Do I have to fear that they're going to come and deport me? Do we know what's going to happen with that information?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. We do know that the information is already within the Department of Homeland Security, which includes ICE. So ICE has access to that information. They've always had access to that information. It's not separate.
Caution, I know, during these times, right? A lot of people, attorneys maybe even, saying, oh, I can fix this problem. I can get you a permit.
Right.
You have to be really careful with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I think the main thing is, you know, for people to be connected, for people to be involved in their communities, be connected to, you know, to mediums such as this, but also to community organizations that they trust, that are doing this kind of work, and to people who, you know, have expertise in immigration. What
are some good websites that they can visit?
So there are good resources at the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights. That's ICRR.org. We also have information primarily through our Facebook page at PASO.
During the session is to be able to take questions. So we got a question from a woman who's asking if her daughter should renew her DACA. It's coming up in August. So it seems that you mentioned earlier it's even too early to begin doing so.
Yeah. So you can apply to renew your work permit 150 days before it expires. So that's the soonest. So she wouldn't be able to apply to renew at this moment. By the time the 150 days comes up, I think we'll probably have a lot more information about the program and what's going to happen.
It's not an executive order, which is the case with DACA, which is why it's easy for him to go in on the first day and say, it's gone.
That's right.
Moni, what else should people know? What haven't I asked you that you think is important to convey to the students or the young people and their parents during this time, which is really, really confusing and stressful?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I think it's really important to stay connected.
Well, Moni, thank you so much for being here, generous with your time and your advice. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any more questions, go to Facebook, post them there, and then we'll see if we can steal Moni for a few more minutes and she can answer those on our page. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.